How's it going, everybody? In this episode, what I wanted to really touch on was how I set up a comic page in Manga Studio. It should be a pretty quick video. Some of you guys and girls have messaged me regarding this topic, and it's kind of simple. So right away, I've got my default, my comic page set up, and in Photoshop, I made my thumbnails, and this is when I was working on the standard, at least on this issue here, these thumbnails and my whole workflow was in Photoshop. So it's been a little while since I've worked exclusively in Photoshop just to do this kind of stuff, but you can still import Photoshop files, JPEGs, all that cool stuff in the Manga Studio. And this is it here. It's very small compared to the 600 DPI image that I will be working at, but basically this is what I do, okay? So I just literally go up to here, File, Import, Image File. And then you'll grab your thumbnail or whatever you're going to want to draw. And let me just zoom out here so I can see. If I hit, make sure you got your thumbnail there clicked, Control T, and what's going to pop up is this transform tool, move and transform. Make sure you got the keep aspect ratio on, keeps everything, nice and tight. And literally I'll just drag it. This might seem a little obvious to some of you guys out there, but some people this is kind of new to them. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of move it around there just to fit inside the live area of the comic page. And this is a pretty simple page that I'm working on. There isn't very many, if at all, complex panels. There's nothing in there that's overly dramatic. So now that we have that, the next thing you're going to do is literally make a new layer. And let me just bring the window over here so you can see it. And change the layer type to panel ruler layer. Doesn't get much easier than that. What it's going to do is over here on the right, it's actually going to make a ruler. Very similar to how you would do your 3-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and all that jazz. So if I zoom in here, what it does when you have that selected, it makes this blue live area really highlight. And I like to lower the opacity just so I can see what I'm playing with here. So make sure that the ruler layer is selected. Now this guy right here, there's a button right here. It's called Panel Ruler Cutter, or the F button. Now when you press that, it literally makes that blue, and I can go in here and I can make diagonal shapes. You can really start breaking up any kind of panels you want. I'm just going to undo those two. If you hold shift, it'll actually make a straight line. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of like line up where my thumbnails panels were. Bang, bang. And you can see literally that's as easy as it is. Your next step here is to right click on the panel ruler layer and rasterize the layer. What's going to happen is you're going to get this pop up here. Do you want to keep the original layer? I usually do in case I ever wanted to go back or change something. And what that really means is right here, this ruler layer. If you select no, it'll delete that. So you can save up space and stuff because you probably don't need it. I like to keep it just in case. You never know when you need to go back to something. Now, as you can see, it's going to default put it wherever at the bottom is. I move that all the way above everything. And what that does is if I zoom in, oops, so you can see what's happening here. Let me turn the opacity back up there. If I lower the opacity on the panel rulers, you can see, let me turn the panel ruler blue. You can see where the actual thumbnail here is extending outside of the panel rulers that I've already made. But by increasing the opacity, it basically puts a white gutter right here. So no matter where I draw inside this image, outside here into the gutters, we'll never get any kind of art in there unless I want to. And you can easily go in there and just erase it if you really wanted to. Now the next step that I'll do is I start to put in all of my perspective rulers. Okay, so again, we're just saving up here. Okay, so make a new layer. Bring that over here. And the layer name, I usually name it so I'm not confused for the panel that it's meant for. So this is panel 1, and layer type, again, you're just going down to ruler layer. Click OK. And you'll see on the right there, it'll actually say panel ruler. Let me just turn that layer off. Now what you would do next is just like how you would make your ruler. So I'd go ruler. In this image here, that looks like it's a 3-point perspective. So new special ruler, 3-point perspective. Now these rulers here, this is actually only in the EX version of Manga Studio. And literally I would just move it around here just to figure out what's going on, where I want my rulers and all that cool stuff. Oops. Just so I can start lining this stuff up here. this line's going. Bring it up just a little bit more. So yeah, I'd literally spend, I don't know, maybe the next 10 to 20 minutes doing this, setting up all of my panels that need perspective guides to them. Not every layer that you use is going to need perspective rulers. Let me just click that off there. Trying to figure out our placement here for this stuff. Yeah, looks good. So you could literally leave it like that. Sometimes what I'll also do is, since this is like my rough layer kind of thing, I'll quickly make a new layer. I'll make the line art blue and just kind of, let me grab a marker here so we can see a little bit better. Kind of just quickly throw in some perspective grids. This right here is basically what you would do if you were normally working on a comic page. You know, where you have to establish your perspective and all that cool stuff. And yeah, so then the next step after this would literally be just doing that kind of exact same thing to the figures. But hopefully this helped you guys a little bit understand about like how I set up things and get my page started to work in a Photoshop. And once I have that established for all these panels, I'll go in there and I'll kind of tighten up the anatomy a little bit on like another blue layer, and then lower the opacity on everything, grab my inking brush, and get to work and sit here for the next, you know, however long it takes to finish the page. Anyway, I hope this was a little bit informative for some of you guys on how to set up a page of Manga Studio and stuff, importing thumbnails and all that good stuff. But anyway, keep making comics, keep reading comics. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, and we'll see you soon.